So we've got Andrew and Taylor and Logan with us, and we're going to talk about refutation. So what is a refutation? I think I'm going to leave lights on, thank you, but you've got it in front of you. I'm mainly going to be doing something on the sample in a minute. So what is a refutation? What argument do you present in a refutation, Alex?
Like the opposite side of your sort of like
the opposite side. And Aiden, why? Why in the world would you present an opposing argument?
It helps strengthen your argument and it makes the other side look less good.
Yes, it actually strengthens your ethos. It makes you look well-read and informed. It positions you as a confident arguer because you know the other side and you're able to come back against it. So there's 2 points. There's the refutation, that's the opposing argument, and there's the rebuttal, that's your response to the opposing argument. Mariah.
So with all refutations, like we have points that we wrote down in our Andy charts.
Yes.
Why would we not use what our actual opponent in the class's argument is? Because then that's more of a debate.
It is, and I really love that idea. I'm a debater at heart. I just haven't figured out how to get debate woven into it. Okay, now every year I hold out hope, and this year I'm hoping that we might do some debates, but we can do the debates without having them that connected.
Okay, so
Okay.
like
Part of it is you guys, for your paper, you need to pick opposing arguments that you know you can respond to. Don't present an opposing argument that is slam dunk for the other side and you're like, I don't know what to say. I mean, what do I say to that? You need opposing arguments that you can respond to.
But if it is respondable, could you go against your opponent?
You could. But I'm reading y'all's papers and I know that most of you have points that clash with each other. So even if we don't formally establish that, if we do debates, you'll be able to clash. Okay? Okay, so let's look at this sheet and, okay, people who are online, you've got the sheet and you should be looking at it also. So you guys can either look in front of you or you can look up here. So let's just talk about, let me just show you this overview. You have 6 elements, and quite literally, when I say writing is an art and a science, this part could be a science. You literally could write 6 sentences that follow these guidelines, and that's your refutation. Okay, now you can do some more. Okay, but I'm going to take you through this with mine, step by step. So you know you need a topic sentence, and we've talked about your topic sentence presents the opposing side's argument, and you have to make it clear that it's the opposing side. Does everybody have this handout?
Yeah.
Eli, Ian, you don't. Did it get stopped, Eli or Mariah? Okay. So you guys, when we start doing final drafts, we're going to be putting transitions throughout your sentence, but I'm going to go ahead and give you transitions for refutation. So this middle column is refutations. So you could start your topic sentence with it's often argued, opponent state, a popular opposing view, just something that says, this isn't what I believe. Okay? And so here's my topic sentence. Opponents to a border wall believe that improving the legal process of immigration would better solve the problem of illegal immigration. Okay? I literally wrote it in. I didn't do keywords, I just wrote it in. Okay, next, evidence. So this is evidence. One piece that supports the opposing side. So it could be data, it could be an expert quote, just something that they would use to support their position to show how open-minded you're being. So you could use, for example, for instance, and here's my sample. For example, Senator Nancy Pelosi has frequently stated there's no crisis at the border, and many others in Congress are advocating for more money to be spent on more border officials, social workers, and judges. Okay, so I've got a little piece of evidence there. You want to make this short. You're acknowledging it, you're showing you're informed, you don't need to elaborate, you don't need to explain it, you don't need a warrant. 2 sentences for the opposing side. Okay? Then you're going to follow that with an acknowledgement. Oh, that bothers me. Let's see. Okay, acknowledgement. Okay, so, and by the way, out to the side, I have the parts of your outline this would be. So your topic sentence is going to be the Roman numeral, and then these are subpoints. Subpoint B, acknowledgement. So what part of the opposing argument do you agree with or do you find valid? Now, I don't want you to say, The opposing side says that, the Confederate flag represents Southern heritage. This is true. Like, don't want to just say everything they say is true, okay? You want to find one element. So here's some transitions, admittedly, certainly, of course, without a doubt, at the same time, undeniably. Okay, these are all types of, they're not the only ones, they're just examples. So, without a doubt, the legal process for immigration should be improved. So I'm not saying the legal process is a better solution. I'm just taking this one part. Yes, it could be improved. So I'm taking one part and agreeing with it. Okay, then here comes my rebuttal. So the rebuttal is your response. So you've got to state your position in terms of what they're saying. And here's some transitions. Nevertheless, however, on the other hand, clearly. So nevertheless, the need for a physical wall still exists. Without a wall, and now this is the part, your rebuttal, where you might put a few more sentences. It's up to you. Without a wall, desperate immigrants will still seek to enter the U.S. illegally. It's human nature to see the easiest option, and the U.S. must. Yeah? Okay. Eli, you are signing out. Okay, before you sign out, why don't you sign out? Okay. Okay. So there's my rebuttal. So I'm elaborating a little more. This is the chance to be persuasive. And then I need to give evidence. This is my D. So either you can refer to evidence that you had earlier in the paper. So you can reference that, thank you. Or you can present new evidence. I think it's really powerful if you can present new evidence. That's not what I did in my paper, but I would suggest that. Okay, this is demonstrated by. So here's mine. This is exactly what Israel did to stop illegal immigration. Israel combined physical walls with new immigration laws to make legal immigration more attractive than illegal. So my basic argument is like, we need to improve legal immigration, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't have a wall. Let's have both. It's not one or the other. Okay, so I give my evidence, and then my clincher. Now this is a different clincher. This is where you're having to say why your argument is superior. Why is your argument better? It's your summary warrant. You don't need to have impact. It's your summary warrant in a couple sentences. So here's your transition, ultimately, therefore, thus, as a result, in view of. Improving legal immigration is a needed step, but only one step. Building a physical wall is another essential step. These two, did I really use the word things? These two actions are not mutually exclusive, but should work together to decrease illegal immigration. Okay? You guys get that? Does it look easy?
Yes.
Okay, flip over on the back side, because I don't know how many ways I can make this easy, but I'm going to post this with today's homework. You can put it in this refutation guide if you want. Some people in past years have found this easier. Other people just use this as a guide and they type it on their outline. It needs to end up on your outline, okay? And this part of, yeah, this just kind of shows you if you wanted to like sketch it out here before you type it. But I will tell you, on your outline, just make these sentences. Okay, don't worry about doing keywords. At this point, this all has to be original thought or quoted evidence, so just go ahead and do sentences. Yes, Addison?
I'm so confused, so we're making like a whole different outline for reputation?
We're adding to the one that we already have.
You're adding to the one you already have.
But why if we already have two
Oh.
reputations?
To make it better.
Okay, to make it better.
But like,
And because most of you are missing pieces.
do we have to do it in this format though?
This is the exact format I gave you before, okay? So I'm not giving you a new outline. All I'm doing is expanding it, and I'm taking time to help you understand each point.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because what a lot of you did is on your acknowledgement, you just started arguing. A lot of you this part just melted down. So I'm trying to separate it out. Alex.
So we're gonna be essentially like replacing our outline, our refutation points on our outline like right now with this.
Yes. And look at the comments I gave you, because some of you did have good evidence, and I put that on there. So I'm not saying, hey, delete it and start from scratch. I'm saying, look at the comments I gave you, figure out where you're weak, and this gives you guidelines, okay? Okay, I want to give you one more thing. We're going to do one more exercise together. I want you to see, I'm going to give you 2 examples of refutations. And have a pencil out, because I'm going to ask you to underline. We're going to go through, and we're going to look at the parts of a refutation so you can see how it all comes together.
It's under your chair.
Okay, when you get this, would you scratch out number 6 that says warrant? Just scratch that out. Okay? So you have scratched out warrant. It should just say clincher, because your clincher in this is your warrant. Okay, so at the very top where it says identify the components of a strong reputation, yours has something extra. It has warrant. And I want you to scratch that out. Okay? Okay, so here's what I like to do. I love color coding things. Why don't you have your book back?
We're not allowed to bring in class.
Oh, did it start today?
So stupid.
It's stupid.
Oh my gosh, I knew
Stupid.
something was different.
I literally hate it.
It's so bad.
Because if there's a fire, we're all gonna die.
I'm not sure for just laughing about it because no one likes it.
I give it a 0 rating.
Who are our SLT members?
0.
Yeah.
Leah,
You told Miss
Amelia,
Blasman to
Addison,
change it.
Mariah,
I
Tracy.
really don't do anything. I'm on the ministry.
It's your time to make a difference in music.
Right, it's time to make a difference.
Do you know why the teachers wanted it gone? I was pretty neutral.
I think it's
It's
fun.
because it's a fire hazard. Like, if there's a
I've
fire.
heard it's because of the
No,
fog.
actually,
But
it's
like,
bad.
if they are bothering you, it's because some of us have almost tripped and broken our old necks. So that was the big
behind
thing.
our desk.
It can literally just be
It's
like
not one
hanging
person
out.
that caused this whole entire mess.
So you guys, you are smart. You could come up with an
I could
alternative.
like lay them up against the wall.
No, we can't because we will get in trouble. We will get in so much trouble.
What?
If we find an alternative.
Yeah, the police would come and be like, nee, Arnie.
No, we don't get in trouble.
Okay, you guys, I think-
we get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
whenever you what?
Find a loophole for something, we get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah,
not
so
saying
much
find a loophole. I'm saying
loop.
present a strong
Yeah, present
argument.
a case to Miss Blasman.
Yes,
A more
and
efficient way of doing
listen,
Listen.
John Carter, Andrew's raised his hand.
Can I go get something for my locker?
No.
See, no teacher will say yes to that. This is why it's terrible. Yeah, see? There's your point. Prove it.
I didn't even know we were gonna need that.
Okay, so you guys, when I finish when I finish doing this, if you need to get something, you won't need to get something. You're gonna get your computer. Okay.
Could
They
we
were
do a
all like,
silent protest
oh.
and bring our book bags?
Am I allowed to start a strike?
Okay, guys, we're not gonna solve this right now, but I do think that somebody could write a persuasive letter or go to Leah's hand is up. It's a crazy way of getting attention. Dominic, quiet please.
My bad.
Am I allowed to, are we like allowed to start like a boycott if they don't let us?
Hey, can we go on strike and not go to school?
Come to school?
I do not understand why you guys are going to extreme measures of boycotting when nobody's tried to have a civil conversation and present an argument. Josie,
I was just saying, like, we should
probably go on strike. It did start with a
strike.
yes. Oh, Josie has a really good point. I'm going to tell you that this, without naming anybody, was teacher initiated. There was a general consensus among teachers that this needed to happen. So yes, why don't you talk to your teachers? I, for one, would be okay if you hung your backpacks on your desk. The big thing is being able to walk down the aisle.
Yeah, you can put them.
Or crazy concept is to use the basket
What
under the
about people
desk.
could just look for backpacks on the floor?
Your lunch
Well, they
is
can
right
just
there on the
look
table.
down before they walk.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a crazy idea.
How did nobody ever think of that?
Okay, you guys,
I mean, I
it
will
is
say-
an obstacle course, and some of us are busy teaching we're not trying to run an obstacle. We
But
can't
it's-
just.
but it's because it
Okay,
has a
Matt,
fire.
Matt.
can't just sweep them over.
It's because if there's a fire, people are gonna
Okay.
get and die.
We're moving on.
Don't
We're moving on.
Come on.
You guys are cutting into your time to work. Okay, so I want to do this second one. I don't want to do this first one, but I just want you to see the pieces. Have the topic sentence out. Have this refutation guide out. And so somebody tell me, what's the topic sentence that says the opposing viewpoint? Raise your hand, back up.
Another argument against mandatory voting is that it will allow too many uneducated voters to have a say
Nope.
in.
Next paragraph.
What?
Next paragraph. We're doing sample two.
Oh, I thought sorry.
Here, here.
Do you want me to just read that one?
Yeah.
Sorry. Another argument supports proposed is that vaping is a healthier alternative to smoking because using e-cigarettes does not have an effect on a person's health.
Okay, so you guys just underline that and put number one, because you probably don't have the fun markers I had. Okay, so there's your topic sentence, and notice it starts with another argument supporters propose. So one of the things I noticed is lots of people did not have a, did not preface their topic sentence with opposing viewpoint.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yay.
Okay, then you need evidence to support the opposing side. Matt, what's the evidence that's given?
For instance, Michael Joseph Bala states, smoking harms nearly every organ in your body. He also says, there is also no doubt that e-cigarettes expose you to fewer toxic chemicals than traditional smoking.
Okay, so it was really nice that this person gave two pieces of evidence. They really didn't need to. Alex?
We couldn't say says though, because it's a bad word.
Oh, you're good. Okay,
Yeah.
this is actually,
I didn't do that.
But he says states.
No, but then he also says.
He says says.
There is.
you guys, hey, disclaimer, this is a student paragraph, okay? So you're gonna find some things.
States isn't a banned word, right?
No, it's not.
says.
Okay, so you've got your topic sentence, you have evidence for the other side. We're done with the opposition. Dominic, what is the acknowledgement? Where does this person acknowledge the opposing viewpoint?
It's like, for instance, Michael Joseph Blaha.
Nope, that's the evidence.
Oh, my
The
bad.
acknowledgement, okay, Mariah, where's the acknowledgement?
Of course, smoking is dangerous and cigarettes contain harmful chemicals, but you.
Stop. Okay, just that. This person did something different. They did their acknowledgement and their rebuttal in one sentence. Here's the acknowledgement.
We had an issue.
Thing.
Wow, it's purple.
That's blue.
What?
Guys, while we're at it, I'm sure I'll tell Alvin that.
That is definitely.
No, actually, I got my dad's blood line.
What does that have to do with anything?
Oh my God.
Then how come you can't tell?
Okay, hey, we're back. We're back.
Never mind.
So the first part of this sentence, Leah and Charlotte, is an acknowledgement, and then the second part is rebuttal. So, Dominic, can you read that second part?
But e-cigarettes also have multiple chemicals that can be threatening to a person's health.
Okay, so here's my rebuttal. E-cigarettes, I am competing with people, and I should not. John Carter.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm talking. Okay, so I want you to see that it's possible to combine sentences. So this is actually 3 and 4. Okay, and here. Okay, so then evidence. What's the evidence that this person gives to support their rebuttal? Alex.
Linda Richter states that there is no evidence that e-cigarettes are in fact safe. Rather, a growing body of research indicates that they may lead to negative health consequences.
Wait, why is it the same color?
Because I lost one of my pens. Some of my pens are gone. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, but this is, for y'all's purpose, this is 5. There's the evidence. And then the clincher, which you have is 7. Okay, I've got a 6. So here's the clincher. So the clincher says, how is your argument better than the opposing argument? Josie.
Well, I have a question. So why wouldn't, talking about the chemicals, such as nicotine, why wouldn't that sentence also go under the evidence? Because it actually lists, the chemicals.
Wait, isn't the rebuttal evidence, or is it like
Because we have
evidence
a-
for the
I think we have a
opposing
different
argument?
The rebuttal is
Something else
Do
added
you guys
to
have
ours.
please tell me you don't have
It's
it.
there's something else added to ours that's not on there.
More likely vaping is something.
Yeah, we have like two.
Do you think
we have
Oh,
two
you do.
More likely
That's
vaping is
yeah.
just exchanging one set of talk.
Fascinating. I wonder why they're different. Okay, so you guys, what that sentence is referring to evidence that she already listed. And both of those would be evidence. Okay? Do you guys, I'm so sorry. So both of those, let's come here.
So you give evidence
Oh,
twice.
Where is Richard?
So this, you don't have to give evidence twice.
But we
But
have,
this-
we have two evidences.
Because this person, hey, listen, this person was referencing, she was using evidence she had already cited in her paper to give a specific example and make her clincher stronger.
So we do, the two evidences is evidence for the, opposite side, then we do the evidence for our side again. Right, on the rebuttal, it's the evidence for the rebuttal, and the rebuttal is our
The
side.
evidence for the rebuttal, all of this is 5. And she used one piece of new, and then she referred back to evidence she had already used. Thank you for pointing that out.
So like, okay, I'm just wondering this because I'm like color coding stuff and it helps me look at it, but like, there's evidence for the acknowledgement and then evidence for. Like,
No.
There's two evidences.
Okay, look here. There is evidence. Your first piece of evidence is for the refutation. That's the opposing side. Your second piece of evidence is for the rebuttal. And she just has 2 pieces of evidence. Okay? You don't have to. You can just have 1 piece, but she's got 2 pieces. Okay, and then let's look at her clincher. So now, I think, I'm gonna go back to this. Oh, this is disgusting. I'm glad we caught this though.
Wait, why'd you put, an arrow going from the rebuttal for the evidence again?
That's evidence for the.
Because this is evidence for the rebuttal,
Yeah.
and this is evidence for the refutation. One is against you, the other one is in favor of you, okay? Okay, and then the clincher. Tracy, can you read the clincher?
Vaping rather than smoking does not necessarily improve people's health. More likely, vaping is just exchanging one set of health problems for another set.
Okay, so smoking has problems, but vaping has problems too. You're just exchanging one set of problems for another set. Okay.
So true.
So this would be your 7. Okay, so you guys, I don't want you to follow this, I just want this as a sample. What I want you to follow is this. This is kind of your formula, and you're gonna get the laptop, and you're gonna look at what you've already outlined and see how well it lines up. And if you did keywords, you're gonna turn it yes.
So this is homework, or wait, didn't you say
Outlining.
homework today?
Outlining reputation 1 and 2 is homework.
Are you gonna check this?
I'm not checking it, this is a time management thing. Okay, Charlotte.
The second evidence thing, that starts at, does that in that body thing?
That is so.
That ends at, hold on. Yes, yes, that does. Okay, so you guys, I don't mind if you keep asking me about this, like what's the difference between refutation evidence and rebuttal evidence?
One works with you.
And would you put that away, please?
One works with for you and one works against you.
Yes. Okay?
So the first one works against you, the second one works for you.
Yes. Okay? Okay, you guys get Chromebooks, and I will